What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster-in-Chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with a meta deck. Not really of my own creation. I did make a few tweaks, of course. I never don't. But this is firmly a new meta deck that sort of appeared out of the left field. And it makes a bit of sense, I think, because it's essentially just Azorius Control, but just with some additional cards by splashing a certain color. And I'm just going to bring up some stats here for you guys before we can, jump into some gameplay footage. And, okay, well, that gave it away. But if we go here into the meta section, I can scroll right up to Diamond, which is where I am. And for the first time in a long time, we have a new contender here in terms of win rates. Jeskai Control at the top here, within the top 3. And it's even climbing up in terms of popularity. And the reason why I think it makes sense is because we get to play all of the good cards that Azorius Control plays to defeat Boros, Convoke, and Mono Red Aggro, which are the two big bads in the best of one format. Like Temporary Lockdown, Sunfall, Wandering Emperor, etc. But by splashing the red, we get access to the Zurgo and Ojutai, the Jeskai colored dragon, which gives great card advantage and acts as a win con, as well as Lightning Helix, which isn't very good at hitting all sorts of targets, but that 3 life gain against these aggro decks can be really, really good. So that is all I have to say about it as far as statistics are concerned. So now, without further ado, let's jump into tonight's Jeskai Control brew. Of course, Lightning Helix on the deck box cover. And voila, feast your eyes. The main changes was I cut a March, I cut a Get Lost, I brought in some additional Wandering Emperors and 1 Jace, and then I still am on the fence about a few things, because this is a little too stock standard for me. There's a lot of these tap lands, but they end up being one of the alternate win cons for sure, the Restless Anchorage. And then Farewell, I don't know, I feel like we need more Sunfalls, but also it is the type of format where it'll mostly be a dead card in your hand, in the sense that you never get to cast it because you're already dead by then. So I can see why like the meta has shifted to 4 lockdowns and 1 Sunfall. I'm thinking maybe to cut the Farewell and put in a second Sunfall, just to make sure we're a little bit better covered against the more mid-rangey matchups where they're playing Shield Dreads and whatnot. But most of the time with those types of threats, I'm either countering them on the way down with Dissipate or dealing with them with Get Lost or March of Otherworldly Light. So there is a lot of options to everything, and the red splash is really just for Zurgo and Lightning Helix, and you'd be surprised how much of a difference it actually makes. I'm sitting on 5-1 with this list, and it has finally allowed me to claw my way back into Diamond Tier 1. So nice thing about hitting record right now is that I have these 2 sort of like free matches that they give you when you climb up to a new tier. There's even if you lose 2 in a row, you'll still stay in Diamond 1. So hopefully that'll sort of buffer us a little bit against the usual streamer's curse. And then we can hopefully continue to climb. And who knows, maybe hit Mythic on camera. Woo! That would be epic. So yeah, I don't feel the need to go into a super detailed BrewTech, mostly old cards. But I just wanted to make the point that this red splash allows you to still deal with all of the Boros, Convoke, Mono Red players with the 4 copies of Temporary Lockdown and whatnot, but then Zurgo and Ojutai just has this, it's like this flying threat that they struggle to deal with, that you can keep bouncing back to your hand when you're playing against Control or whatever, and it's been really good. We need 1 more white source to cast the Lockdown. And these are like so much later in the game, I might not really want 2 of them in my opening hand, but I hate mulliganing when I'm on the play, so I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. Like I said, we have those 2 sort of backup matches. There we go. Okay, please give me a white source. There's 26 lands. Hello! Lockdown just completely ruins this deck. It's so nice. If they can, like, Now he'll probably fire off the... Oh, not even. doesn't have the Convoke play right now, and we're just gonna go straight away for the lockdown. This just is so punishing. Get out of here! Get out of here! My post I did yesterday on X about you know, the meta right now. It's like, it's either you know, what's it called, Gleeful Demolition and you know, the Knight Errant of Eos, or you're on the side of the meta where you're playing 4 temporary lockdowns, and there's like very little in between that's actually getting like those types of win rates that allow you to quickly get into Mythic. So this is a prime example. Like I've been on the receiving end of this temporary lockdown when I've been trying to ladder with Boros Convoke, and I love how the meta does that, like responding to a very toxic, oppressive deck, and everybody's forced to adjust to it, and then ultimately it ends up being that they don't have as good win rates as they did at the beginning of the format, which is great. That deck needed to be put in its place, and Jeskai Control is the tool I've found so far to combat it most you know, efficiently. That temporary lockdown really just, if they don't manage to do the turn 2 Convoke the dude out play, and you just hit them with a lockdown when they've got, just put all their little 1-drops and their little, even if they fired off the Gleeful Demolition, whatever, just bye-bye everybody. It's gotten to the point where I think that the Boros Convoke deck will need to adapt and start playing some Get Losts instead of the Case card as their removal, so that they can get rid of enchantments before the trigger, you know, when the triggers on the stack kill the temporary lockdown. However, they're usually tapped out at the time when they've done all of their little cheap 1-drops and tokens generation and whatnot. So I don't even know if that'll be the answer for them. And it's just, it's such a catch-all, because it also does really well against mono red. You know, unless you're on the draw and they play their squee or whatever, then man, again on the play. This one is definitely not staying in my opening hand. That's better. So we go boom into Forge, and we can counter something on turn 2. Here we go. Another of the exact same deck. My goodness. It's just everywhere. I feel like now I'm playing into this like at least 2-3 times a day. A video, I beg your pardon. Okay, so we can still counter stuff, and we get a little scry action. Yeah, I'll keep that. They sometimes play the you know, Cavern and name humans, and then you can't counter anything. But this is looking more like either somebody who's trying to play Boros Convoke but doesn't have the perfect lands for it, or it might be Boros Control, which is great. Bring it on. We've got the potential for double normalize. He didn't even flash in Resolute Reinforcements. I'm starting to think that this isn't that kind of a deck. But if he's playing Boros Control without the blue, which is essentially what we're playing, then
I'm going to
good luck. Looks like maybe Reanimator or something like that, which is cool. Let's see what happens. I would not have discarded that Thrill of Possibility myself. I beg your pardon, that Brotherhood's End, but it probably just, okay, Boros Burn, maybe.
let your blade do the
Who knows? Hello, one of Sunfall. I haven't seen any creatures from the opponent yet, so maybe that was a bad move, but I just want to be sure we're covering all bases whilst we still can. And if it is like something like Boros Reanimator, then we'll still have answers. We can counter his Invoke Justice, or we can kill whatever he plays. Interesting. I'm so used to seeing, you know, when I see these color lands, it's immediately some kind of freaking Reanimator deck, but sorry, Boros Convoke type deck. Yeah, so far no creatures have been identified, so we're gonna let that do its thing. Maybe he's even got his own Wandering Emperors and whatnot. So far, nothing really terrifying. Oof, that's a nice top deck. Disgusting card. I wish didn't exist, but, you know, sometimes you're just forced to play it. Okay. Sure. Fine. Nice to have to, you know, to force him to take that out of his hand. Emperor number 2.
Run away.
And he's discarded 2 Brotherhood's ends. Pretty hilarious. Oh, nice. Thanks for that. Now we get to use these map tokens on our creature, unless you've also got removal for that. Oh, we're a little bit flooding here. Yeah, I mean, whatever. At least I know what's on the top. So I can really go ham and guarantee. Okay, now I still want to hold up at least 2 No More Lies. Wonder what the hell is going on here. This is super weird. Opponent's got so much freaking... Another Brotherhood's End discarded. I guess he's also got Sunfall. 1. 2. Bye. So now 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6 if we hit something. I don't think we need that in this matchup. Badoosh. And now if he's got another a burn down the house, we dodge it. We're close. We're close. Oh my goodness, imagine we hit Mythic on camera. Nipple twistingly amazing. Got no man's lands to block with so far. It's a really weird deck. I wish I knew what the opponent was up to, because sometimes the game is over before you get to see their plan, and you're like, ah, these jelly... gelatinous, what was it? Gelatinous blob. At this point, No More Lies becomes useless. I'm thinking of bringing in like 1 negate, because like it's good in the early game, and most control decks are now just only running 4 No More Lies, and that's it. Yes, we've also got 2 copies of Dissipate. But it does appear that our good friend is deciding to be a little whiny bum. Oh, I'm going to allow the opponent to just, you know... Come on, dude, don't do this. People, don't be a sore loser. Just concede. It's so childish. I never rogue. Like, if I know I'm gonna lose, I just concede, because I also have time constraints. I want to get to my next match. I never got this. It's like these freaking man-childs. Oh, I lost. I'm gonna waste the opponent's time. One dude. I bet you he's got Wandering Emperor, but this Vigilance here. I guess he could have flashed in to at least make a blocker. And if that is what's gonna happen, unless he just timed out or decided to be a salty roper, then we can also just kill the thing before he declares blockers, and we have 2 ways of doing so. I'm gonna cut that 1 Sunfall, that 1 Farewell. I mean, this deck is full of cards I hate, but sometimes you're just forced to play that stuff to get the wins you want, right? Like, what are you supposed to do? they're that good. Wow. This brew is disgusting, honestly. Let's play one more as is. You know, I always get that little feeling of like, ooh, don't ruin the feng shui. If it's working, it's working. If it's broke, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, like, let's just leave it as it is. Leave it as it was first brewed up by yours truly. I didn't even copy it off of Untapped. I just saw on my Etherhub assistant, MTGA assistant, after I'd played against someone with that brew, and then I sort of built my own one. But the farewell was part of that. I just copied the, you know, because it only shows you the cards that have been made visible by the opponent, and then it approximates based on the stats in that database which deck the opponent was playing, and you can either copy the one that they think it is or the opponent's one. And I just copied the opponent's one, which was only a partial deck, and then I just filled in the gaps. The mana is terrible for Jeskai, unfortunately, but what can you do? And we're on the draw. 2 tap lands. But there is our one of Sunfall, so I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit and go Anchorage and hope to top deck a untapped land that produces white or blue. We need that lockdown. Come on, baby. And how crazy is this meta? Like, it's just so many opponents playing this over and over again. So dull. Okay, and then also the the whatever guy thingy majiggy. The 3 little gleeful demolitions. We don't have the lockdown in hand, even though we have 4 on the deck, and that is probably gonna lose us this particular one. I should have mulliganed, I have the feeling, but maybe we can gain just enough life and destroy a few things along the way to then be able to fire off a Sunfall later. That's really not good. But I think he, when seeing this, if he's been keeping his eyeball on the meta, will... I think what I'm going to do is let him tap things down. Maybe he'll do the thing with the... And then I'll march away his Warden. Yes? Because it's a 1-drop, right? So we can just put, like, maybe the normal eyes away. I think out of all of the options we have here, it's probably the least interesting one to... Or not. I mean, maybe next turn it's going to be like a 3-drop. Maybe we don't give him more tokens. Get lost. And we hold up, we keep the normal lies available and hopefully draw into a... Get out of here! Please just scoop it up. Get out of my face. Sure. Now it's going to be no more lies, or we just Lightning Helix the Warden. Definitely no more lies on the... Because this is their, like, coming from behind win condition, the War Leader's Call. Because then they try to, like, ping you down. Land is great. So we can Emperor this little fellow. Yep, it's fine. Actually, you know what? Let's keep the Emperor a surprise and use the Helix for this. It's also going to gain us a little bit more life. Where's my mana, mate? 26 lands. I guess the opponent's also bricking just a tad. Yep. I think now I'm going to go for the Deluge and try and dig for some nice, juicy answers. Maybe... Discard blood token, yada yada. No. This allows us to grab 2 cards. So let's go for... we want another lockdown at this stage. Or do we just start Zurgoing the guy? I think with the Sunfall in hand, we go for the Zurgo. Okay. Take it easy with the Zurgo. And play the tap land first, which happens to be one of our alternate win cons. And we can also chump with this should we want to, but I think we'll just go for the Wandering Emperor just to gain a bit of life. And then if he goes for this move, yeah, the Gleeful Demolition, then we can just Sunfall the board. This is another 3 damage. We gain 2. Doesn't do it. So then I will not flash in the Emperor. No, I will. I'll just make myself a 2/2 so that the Sunfall is nicer.
Let your blade do the talking.
Let's try attack first, see what happens. Takes the damage like a champ, and then off you go. Bye! And now we've also found a March of Otherworldly Light to deal with the War Leader's Call. Bugger off, mate. Off you go. Get freaking stuffed. 3 matches, 3 matches. Usually when I'm playing off camera, this is the point where I like take a break, go and have like a cup of coffee, take a few deep breaths, focus on my vision of obtaining my goals and whatnot, do some manifesting or whatever other hippie nonsense. But okay, how are we doing for time? Let's just see that. 22 minutes in. It's a bit too short to call it a night, even though we've definitely done everything the deck is here to do. Let's do one more match, and then we'll jump into some stats, a little bit of discussion, and then call it a night. I want to try and record 2 videos today, because Sunday tomorrow, no babysitter, kids. My wife just got back from overseas. The whole house is full of family and friends, so I can spend as little time as possible in front of the computer. That's a good thing. If you see me wearing the same shirt in the next video now, you know why. Okay, I mean, fine. There is only one Celestus, so I'll take it. Maybe we go for the white. No, we go for the... Let's just show him right away. Look, mate, we're playing this. Bro. Wizards, look at what you've done. Disgusting format. Like, so dull and boring. Honestly, like... Ugh. How many... What's that? Our 4th match out of 5 or 3 out of 4? Against the same exact deck. Over and over again. The levels of boredom are just quite intense. Okay, the opponent doesn't have anything. And now we are... Now we are loving life. Sure. I guess. Would be so nice to top deck a freaking lockdown right now. Because if he goes for that... Okay, okay, okay. You know what? Ooh, cancel. This is free. Sorry! Should have played the sun. Okay, does he have another Gleeful Demolition? No. Okay. So now we're on the back foot. First match against this deck where we're like we don't have the immediate answer to the Knight Errant. If we can still just find a lockdown off the top. I think this one is not looking great. I guess we just have to... I mean, yeah, there's nothing we can do. We just have to take it. Really? Okay, that's great. Why wouldn't you play that? I guess he was worried about a counterspell. Oh! With good reason. So unfortunately, we can't play out the Celestus now. We have to hold up a counterspell, and then we probably... yeah, probably nothing. Unless he plays a Cavern, we can counter the Imodane Recruiter, and then we're still just hoping to draw... Off you go. Counter the Recruiter. And then hope to draw one of our freaking important cards, you know? Bugger off. We need that lockdown like now. Or we're just not looking great at all. We can play a Celestus, gain 3. Oof, yeah. Probably shoot the Warden. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Yeah. We go boom. Boom. Back up to 13. This is okay, but it's not incredible, honestly. And he can draw himself some... What, you find another Gleeful Demolition? Disgusting. Yeah, no. Digging for something. Inspector probably gets bottomed, I would say. Or, you know, graveyarded. So far he hasn't cast anything, so we get a trigger on the Celestus. That's nice. So far. Need that freaking card like now. So I'm even gonna take a risk and like maybe discard the Deluge. If he goes for the... Okay. So he'll play it not to give me the trigger. That's fine. Come on, 4 lockdowns. Yep. I mean, we're probably just dead, right? Know what?
I'm the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people. Guards, to me!
So close to death. You can play out... Okay, nothing. Nothing that's just a one-off. Could have been... Yes! Get out of here, mate. Off you go. Don't come again.
Let your blade do the talking.
Go ahead, make your Mirex token. Try and get around my little samurai with that, matey. Now we need life gain though, like. Okay, that's how we lose. If he has the... Yes, he does. Can you imagine, bro? Disgusting, disgusting. That is their way of getting back from next to nowhere. you know, we had him, and then that's the way that Boros, like, if they're coming from behind, they need to play a War Leader's Call and just keep putting bodies on the board. And it works sometimes. They can even just keep activating Mirexes. Like, sometimes it works. So unfortunate defeat there as the final match, but what can you do? Overall, very good performance against Boros Convoke. You can't win all of them. But I would like to jump into some stats here for you guys with regards to this Jeskai deck that I've just played for you. Not only is it, you know, finally, let's see if anybody's in Mythic yet. Really, nah. Gross. So Jeskai is only showing up in Diamond for the moment, but as far as my personal stats are concerned, 8-for-2 is, you know, nothing to scoff at. And the main stat we need to be looking at here is the matchup against Boros Convoke, 5-1. Yes, one of those wasn't Convoke. That guy we played earlier who was trying to do, I don't know what he was trying to do, but, you know, still, 5-1 against Boros. I'm happy. That's fantastic. So I'm going to make it visible for you guys, and I would love to hear a little discussion fire off in the comments when it comes to the choices that I was talking about earlier. Maybe cutting the Farewell, putting in one more Sunfall, you know, that type of stuff. Little adjustments. Maybe we don't need 3 Wandering Emperors because Jace is another alternate win con, also draws cards. Like, there's some wiggle room. We could even cut 1 Zurgo. We don't need 3. It's a control deck. Like, we'll dig through the library to find it. Maybe there's some slight changes that can be made here, but I think the core of Lightning Helix, Temporary Lockdown, Zurgo is enough to keep you alive against these aggro decks until you can turn the corner 90% of the time, as you saw from the gameplay footage. So I'm going to just leave it at that, and I'm going to love you and leave you. So thank you all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one with another fresh brew. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.